What's up, guys? Welcome to the last and final homework assignment for Intro to Sysadmin course. This is part 3. Again, guys, this is the last one, so you have to make sure that you did parts 1 and 2 in order to do this last part, as this part is dependent on those last 2 parts, okay? So again, do as much as you can, run through it. There are some things that are dependent on the others, so if you get to those parts, just skip and go to the next part. Once you get to a stopping point and you can't do anymore, or you finish the whole thing by yourself, unpause the video and we'll go through it together. Alright, guys, let's go ahead and take a run at this last homework assignment here. So the first command is, or first task here is run a command to list detailed info about all users in the system. And hint kind of gives it away. Pretty good hint, because the hint is the answer, is use ls logins. So let's see what that command does. Let me log in. So do ls logins. And wow, gives us a lot of info about logins for people, alright? So we're going to scroll up a little bit and actually see what each, what each column here means. So we see we have the user ID, the username, proc, pwd lock, pwd deny, last login date, and geckos, which is the full username, okay? So if we scroll down, we can see here, we have Jay Henderson, hasn't logged in yet. We see her full name though, Jessica Henderson. Tommy hasn't logged in, Alex hasn't logged in. K Downs, which is me, full name, and it does actually show a login time, okay? So it shows 11:54 is the last time I logged in, okay? Let's go ahead and clear our screen here. Get some space back. Let's look at the next part of the homework, which states run a command to display detailed info about the Alex account, okay, and just see the last login and last terminal parts. Okay, so we can actually, if we go back to our machine here, we can actually run a ls logins, and we can specify just a specific user just by putting in the username. ls logins Alex, and we get a lot of info here, right? Running processes, password change, expiration warrant interval, group ID, login, no login, it's shell. They use all sorts of stuff here in this ls logins for Alex. All right, we get a lot of info running that command. Okay. Number 3, run commands to display specific information about designers and managers group. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to make this easy on ourselves again. We can see the info about those groups in the etc group file. So we're going to do a cat etc/group pipe designers. Oop. We're going to do grep designers. And we see, okay, we have the group designers, no password set. Okay, we have the group ID, and then we have all the users that belong to that group. We're going to do the same thing. Cat/etc/group space pipe space grep, and this time the homework said run it for the managers group. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see some more info about the managers group. And there you go. Managers group, no password set, group ID, and everyone that belongs to that managers group there. Okay. Heading back to our homework. Number 4, run command to display information about password expiration for all user accounts, okay? And hopefully by now you guys are super familiar with this file. That's actually going to be the etc password file, so /etc, or /shadow file. Remember, the shadow file is the one that actually displays expiration info about passwords. So if we scroll down here and actually look at the users, we can see user Tommy here, like we set in the last homework assignment, 90 days expiration. Jay Henderson actually has the max amount of time for password expiry. Same with Alex, and even same with me. Okay, so we haven't changed any of the password expiration dates on these guys, okay? So by default, it's just going to be 999999, alright? So that shadow file actually shows password expiration dates. The etc password file does not. So let's go back to our homework here. We're looking at number 5. It says run commands to change permissions of the below folders. So project 1, we only want to make readable for users and groups, and we want to do this using the read, write, and execute letters, okay? So there's a little bit of refresher here. So to change permissions, we do chmod, change modification, and it said only readable by users and groups, okay? So to do that, we're going to do a user plus or equals read. So we just want user to be readable, okay? And it said project 1. Okay, so we hit enter. We'll do that again. So it said groups needs to have readable project 1. Okay, and we're going to take away everything for other. So other minus or take away read, write, execute project 1. Oops, I mistakenly put LL. Okay, so now let's do an LL. Let's check that out. So project 1 here, we have read, write, execute for user. Oops, highlighted the wrong one. We have read for user, read for group, and nothing forever. And then we do see this little plus sign here. Remember, that's because we have an access control list set for it. All right, clear my screen. Let's look at that next one there for project 2. And for project 2, it says only writable by group. Users have no permissions, okay? And this one we can actually use the numeric form, which is much easier, guys. That's a better way to do it if you're going to be setting permissions for multiple different ones. So we're going to do chmod. It says only writable by group. So nothing for users, 0. Write, okay, which can be W, or number 2, so it's just write, and nothing for other, okay? We're going to do that on project 2. Let's do an LL. Okay, project 2 here. And there we go. User, nothing. So first 3 slots is user, which is nothing. Second 3 slots is group, so we have nothing for read. We do have write activated, nothing for other. Nothing, no execute, so it's just write for other. And then on other, the last 3 here, we have 0. No permissions written for other here. Nothing set. So only thing that's set is write for group. Okay. So we'll clear my screen. Let's go back to the homework. So we're going to look at the next one here. It says in below steps 6, 7, 8, we're creating a group. We're going to manage it via user who will become its administrator, right? So we're going to create a group administrator called finance and add Alex user to it and set its password to moon1255. All right. So we've got a couple different things going on there. So first thing we got to do is we got to add the group. All right. So we're going to do group. Oops. Add. It's called finance. Okay. The second thing we got to do is we got to add Alex, the user Alex to it. Okay. So user mod -A, because Alex already has groups with him, right? So we just want to add another group to him. We're going to do a -G. This is going to make it a secondary group, not a primary. Lowercase g would be primary group. Capital G would be a secondary group. Okay. We want to add the finance group to Alex. So it would be finance. We put the group first and then Alex. There we go. All right. And the last part of that was to set the password to moon12255. We know how to set passwords for users. How do we do it for a group? Well, it's not as complicated as you think. It's actually just G for group and then password. That's the command for changing your group password. Okay, and then we have to specify the group, which is finance. And it's moon, M-O-O-N, 1255. I'll type it again, M-O-O-N 1255. Okay. Now this time you notice it doesn't actually say all tokens updated successfully, okay? But it doesn't come back with an error, so we know it set the password for it, all right? So a little different than the passwd command. Okay, and guys, I do want to point out here real quick, you're really never going to set a password for a group. That's a very rare case where you'll do that. that is another way to kind of set up permissions, so to say, for a user. So let's say you do have a password set for a group. A user, if they knew the password, could type in the password for that group and get permissions for that group temporarily. So kind of another way to add permissions, but it's not a great way. So you won't do that too often, if ever, guys. I just want to point that out. But you do want to be aware of how to do it, okay? So number 7 here says check GShadow and group text files on Etsy folder to see if step 6 is done successfully. So let's go ahead and check that out. So we're going to check the Etsy group folder, and we're going to do a pipe grep and finance to see if that finance group was created. Yep, sure enough, and Alex is part of that group. Perfect. So we're going to do a cat Etsy GShadow now. So remember, the shadow file shows passwords for users. So GShadow, I'm going to show passwords for groups. Again, we're going to do a pipe grep finance, just so we don't have to sift through the whole file. It'll just show us the finance line. I have to spell it right, though. And there you go. See, we have finance, the encrypted password, and then the user Alex associated with it. Perfect. So we did step 6 correctly. Let's go to our homework again. So step 8 says change finance group password to sun2abc. All right, so we're going to change that password again. We didn't like it apparently. So G password finance. It says changing the password. All right. We are changing it to sun22abc. sun22abc. Typing it again. sun22abc. Oops. Okay. sun22abc. sun22abc. There we go. All right. Fat fingered it again. Mistyped it. I'm not very good at typing passwords, huh? I mistyped them a lot. Good thing it actually forces you to type in the same password each time. Otherwise, I would have a lot of mismatched passwords. But anyways, we typed that password in. We got it changed. So now we're going to add Jessica to finance group. Okay, well, we know how to do that, luckily. So user mod -a, append. Remember, Jessica has other groups. We don't want to wipe out our group, so we're going to add her to another group. So we're going to do capital G. So we're going to add this as a supplementary group, finance J Henderson. Okay. So remember, A is append, capital G is a secondary group. So we're adding additional groups to the Jessica one. All right. And just to look at all her groups now, remember we can run a groups command and we can specify which user, and it's going to show all the groups that person belongs to. So Jessica now belongs to Jessica Henderson group, designers group, and finance group. Perfect. I'm going to clear my screen. I'm going to go back to our homework. And now we're going to look at number 10, which is delete the Alex account. Okay? So we're deleting a user. So we'll do user del command -r Alex. So with this -r, that's deleting everything associated with Alex, okay? Home directory, everything. This is the best way to actually get rid of a user. If I didn't do that -r, some things would actually still be left over for the user Alex. So we'll hit that, and there we go. Alex is deleted, okay? Now step 10 here is just going to verify our work. It's going to say run the command to test Alex account is deleted. Hint, you may need to remove groups associated with Alex too. In this case, we didn't have to. It didn't yell at us saying, hey, you know, there's some groups associated with Alex. It went ahead and just deleted that user. So we're going to do cat Etsy passwd, because remember, that's where user info is stored. It's in the passwd file. We're going to make it easy on ourselves. We're going to do grep Alex. Now, if we successfully deleted him, nothing should come back, right? Because he doesn't exist. So grep won't find anything. So it won't bring anything back for us. So we'll enter. Perfect. Nothing came back. We know Alex is deleted, all right? We can even be double sure and be extra safe and just look at the whole file manually just to make sure it's not there. We'll go all the way down. Okay, I see Jay Henderson. I see Tommy. All right, yep. I don't see Alex, so we know we're good. All right. So guys, that's it. Congratulations. You finished all of the homework assignments for Intro to Sysadmin class. I hope you were able to get some good hands-on experience and learn some of those commands we went over in the PowerPoints. Definitely follow those links at the end of the PowerPoints and do some of that one-on-one hands-on Linux tutoring. Okay, there are weekly and monthly sessions available. Those are going to help cement and really get those ideas stuck in your head and make them stay there permanently to get some of that hands-on help with some of these concepts. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I look forward to seeing you in some of these other courses that we have available.